Hello, welcome to Kubernetes Deployment Series Part 27. In this series, we are going to learn how to deploy microservices into cluster using Flux and Helm Chart. And in this lab, particularly, we will learn how to deploy the microservices into multiple environments using Kustomize. In our previous lab, we have already discussed it, how we can deploy uh, microservices using Helm Chart uh, into single environment and also into multiple environments. And we have kept the Helm chart in our local Git repository. We also used a single Helm chart that contains all the manifest files for the all services, and also we tried to deploy with multiple Helm charts. So each microservice contains its own Helm chart. So yeah, so in this we'll learn how we can do. Um, we'll try to implement and deploy the microservices by using Helm chart and deploy into multiple environments using Kustomize. So let's first create the. I have already created the uh, cluster here. You can see, and I have created three different namespaces: dev, test, and prod. Now we'll go to we are going to create the uh, bootstrapping. Okay, so for that, let me just import these three variables. Okay, so this is required while bootstrapping the flux cd. So let me just run this command. So I have already explained these things in my previous lab. So it will, once it is complete, it will create these components, and also it will create uh, create a folder with the name of clusters. Okay, so under this we need to put all our YAML files, I mean the customized files, and the Flux CD will monitor those for any changes. And when we'll check in after modifying the any of these files or any manifest files, and we'll push it into the repository, then the Flux CD will reconcile it and apply those changes to the cluster. Okay, so just wait. This will take a couple of minutes to complete the bootstrapping. And then what we need to do here is we need to customize our uh, Helm chart. You can see here in each of these multi-helm chart, I have created two different folders. You can see base and overlays. So base that include the common manifest file, and that is common for each of the environment. And overlays, basically it include the patches, the I mean that has value, some value that it need to override. So that we'll just define it as a separate. Uh, I have done it using the values.yaml. So you can see I have done it for the different environment with some different values. So you can see dev values.yaml. It has replica 1, but for prod it is 3, and for test it is 2. Okay, so this way I have done the changes and for the different environments, and that is same for all other service as well, for product and RabbitMessSQ and storefront. And in config also I have defined, you can see, but I have not created any overlays here because I don't want to override anything for any of this environment. So I just created the base folder here, and this is the um, manifest file that is required for creating this config map. Yeah, so this is done. And now if we'll sync to the repository here, or you can pull it through command line, then you can see a cluster got created. And here you can, I have already explained, like it will create the repository, it will link to the repository here, it will link to the Kubernetes node 7 repository, and this is the path it will look to reconcile. Okay, and we need to add our files, the customized file under this folder, so that for any changes to the manifest file it will reconcile and apply to the cluster. Okay, and you can see here I have added another environments folder, and in this folder I have defined some customization. Okay, so in this customization file, what I have done is, you can see for the dev environment, I have mentioned this path. Okay, so it's pointing to the multi Helm chart. Okay, this is our Helm chart, and under this, for example, I have the config base, and here I don't have any overlays or any environment specific patches I need to do. So I just mentioned the base, up to base folder. And for the other, like rabbit message, queue order, and product, and share, storefront, I just mentioned the overlays and its corresponding dev environment. Okay, so you can see the path till dev I just mentioned. And for the other one, like for prod, you can see I have mentioned the overlays prod. Okay, so it will deploy with the prod specific changes applying to its base manifest file. Okay, and the flux will apply those changes to the cluster. Okay, so this is, even we have done this in our previous lab for while doing this argo cd or deploying the manifest file, raw manifest file into the cluster. Yeah, so yeah, this is the structure of the manifest file Helm chart that is overridden by the using the Kustomize. Okay, we have created multiple environment under this, each of the folder. Okay, for the Helm chart, and under these environments I have defined, these are the um, since here we have we require multiple path, right? That's why I've just created another folder, and under this I just created customization. Okay, this customization will look for any changes that happen to these folders. Okay, so it will apply any changes that we include to this uh, overlays folder here. Okay, if you will do any changes to these values, right, that it will get applied to the cluster, and that change will uh, monitored by the flux, and it will apply to the cluster. Next, what we have to do under this, we have to add another customization. So let's get that changes here from here under cluster. If you see, I have just created a Helm release here. Okay, so what I have done is I have included 3 folders here. Okay, for each of the environment. Let me just copy this and try to include in this folder. Let me go to cluster and this, and we'll copy here. Okay, so now what we'll do is, under this I have added, it is under demo cluster, this Helm release I have added, and in this I have defined a Helm release here. uh, okay, so I have added, it is, the name is like Helm release, but you can create it, you can give any name here. Okay, so if you want to change it, customization also, it's fine. Okay, let it change it to customization. Let me modify to customization. Okay, so we'll rename it to customization for it is all this file. Okay, similarly I'll do this. Okay, so here we are not using Helm release, we are using customization. Okay, and this pointing to the path environment, uh, to and the uh, this environment folder, and under this any of these, out of this three, right, it will point to any one of these depending upon the environment we are going to use. Okay, so this is one thing, and here also we have defined dev, this is prod, and this is test. Okay, yeah, and everything will be here. I just named it online store dev, it is here online store prod, and this is online store test. Okay, and the namespace, because we are going to use the customization for what we have already created here under this flux system. Okay, and we can see here we have created this customization, and the name is flux system, right? So we are using this customization. So when it will changes anything, it will point to this. Okay, okay, so then yeah, so that's all we, what we need to do is now let's check in this to the repository, and we'll watch how it is reconciling, and we'll check whether it is getting deployed or not. Okay, let me just verify whether the namespaces are created or not. Get namespace. Okay, here the dev prod test is there. Okay, you can see also we have the flux system. Okay, this is where our flux is deployed. Okay, now let me just post to the repository. Let me sync it. It will take a couple of minutes to resync. Okay, now what we can do is let just watch how it is reconciling. For that, I'll just use this command flux get customization and to watch it. Let's see if any, is there any error or any issues. So if we compare with our previous lab where we have also deployed the microservices using Helm Chart into multiple environment, in that case there is some repetition of code in our uh, in our Helm chart as well as our Helm releases. It shows some error here. Could not make target or path this JSON. Yeah, this error because it doesn't take that same name as customization. So I have just renamed this name. So I have just renamed it to dev customization, uh, and here I just rename it to prod and test customization. So then it is just trying to reconcile. You can see here. Okay, so let's see whether it created any pod under any of the namespaces. So get pod dev. Now it is got created. We'll also check test. So if we see here, there are two pods for each of the services. Similarly, we can make it. We can see for prod. Okay, you can see here it is showing three. This is because we have mentioned in this values, right? You can see three for prod, and for each of the services for prod environment, I just mentioned the replica count for the service is three. For test, it is two, and for dev, it is one. Okay, so only so what the error is what we saw here is okay. This error it was showing because it's trying to um, accumulate in the dev. So dev is a directory could not make that. Okay, so what you was trying it under this the customization we cannot put under a directory, so we have to keep another name here. Okay, so I just renamed it to this, and it started reconciling. Now let's do some changes to this. Okay, for example, we want to do some changes. For example, um, okay, now in this manifest file, let's do some changes. For example, let me do the product again. In prod values, I'll make it, for example, change it to 5. Okay, for I have done it for order. Okay, let me do it for overlays, then product values. This also I like make it 5. Yeah, so I'll just change it for order and product, uh, and the value I made it 5. Okay, for prod environment. Let me update to the repository. Okay, now we'll again watch it. Resync it. It will try to. It is trying to reconciling. See, order store dev and order store prod and test. Then we'll see, once this reconcile is done, we'll check whether for prod environment, for the service, order and product, whether it is creating 5 pods or not. Okay, let's go to the other chart. Okay. Now let's check. Here we can see order 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 are there. For product, 3 are there. Okay, still 3 are there. Let's wait for another few minutes. We'll see. Okay, so it should reconcile. Still it shows 3. Okay, just wait a couple of minutes, then we'll check. It shows that the status in progress, in progress. Okay, you can see here store test, store online store prod. It is in progress. It's done or not? We'll see. Okay, now we can see 5 uh, pods are here for order, and 5 pods are there for product as well. Okay, so this way what we learn is, using the Helm chart, customization and Fluxity, how we can deploy the microservices into cluster, uh, using cluster by using by defining the manifest file individually for different services. And we have defined the customization here. I mean, we included the base and overlays. So as I told you before, base contains the common manifest files, and overlays is the specific environment specific changes or patches that it includes. Okay, so when we will apply it, will we have to mention the environment from where it will use the values or any other YAML files what we are going to patch, that it will include, and it will just merge or override in the base YAML file. Okay, and that is everything will be just monitored and done by the Fluxity. Okay, so that's all. This we just learn how we can do by using this Helm chart and customization along with Fluxity. And you can, at the end, we can delete that cluster by simply using the command here. Okay, uh, so yeah, that's all. So thank you so much for viewing this video. Please like this video, share, and subscribe as well. And let's uh, see you then in the next lesson. Bye bye.